A massive storm system is forming, and it's unlike anything we've seen in recent months. High above the continent, swirling clouds are gathering strength, drawing energy from both the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. This is not just a typical weather event. Meteorologists are calling it a textbook example of a large-scale atmospheric shift, one that could have far-reaching consequences for millions of Americans. The storm is set to impact much of the country, stretching its reach from the arid deserts of the southwest to the humid lowlands of the deep south. As the system grows, it's already casting a shadow over several states, with forecasters warning of rapidly changing conditions. Forecasters at the Fox Forecast Center are tracking this event closely, working around the clock to analyze the latest data. Teams of meteorologists are poring over satellite images, radar returns, and computer models, trying to pinpoint exactly where the storm will hit hardest and when the worst conditions will arrive. The system is gathering moisture over the desert southwest, where dry air is being replaced by thick, moisture-laden clouds. This influx of water vapor is fueling the storm's growth, setting the stage for heavy rain, gusty winds, and even the potential for severe weather outbreaks as the system intensifies. This isn't just a single storm, it's a sign of a major shift in our national weather pattern. For weeks, much of the country has been locked in a cold, dry pattern dominated by Arctic air. Now, that's changing. The jet stream is dipping south, opening the door for a series of wet, energetic storms to sweep across the nation. As the system moves east, it will pull in moisture from both the Pacific and the Gulf, creating a volatile mix that could bring hazardous weather to millions. Rainfall totals are expected to be significant, and the risk of flash flooding will rise as the ground becomes saturated. The storm's path stretches from Baja California into the southern plains, beginning its journey on Friday, February 13th. As it tracks northeast, it will interact with different air masses, increasing the potential for thunderstorms, hail, and even isolated tornadoes in some areas. Expect widespread rain and thunderstorms across the deep south, with the storm lingering through the weekend. Residents from Texas to Georgia should prepare for periods of intense rainfall, frequent lightning, and the possibility of damaging winds. Localized flooding is a real concern, especially in low-lying neighborhoods and areas with poor drainage. The storm's sheer size means multiple states will be affected at once, demanding coordinated preparation from emergency management teams. Local officials are urging residents to stay informed, have emergency kits ready, and be prepared to act quickly if conditions deteriorate. Most forecast models show the storm hugging the southern U.S., drenching Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama before sliding offshore near the southeast coast. The heaviest rain bands are expected to set up along the Gulf Coast, where saturated soils could lead to rapid runoff and flash flooding. The heaviest precipitation and severe weather will likely focus on the Gulf states. In addition to flooding, there's a risk of severe thunderstorms capable of producing large hail and damaging wind gusts. Residents are advised to monitor local alerts and heed any warnings issued by authorities. This storm marks the start of a new atmospheric setup, moving us away from weeks of Arctic cold toward a pattern dominated by moisture-laden systems. It's a dramatic transition that could signal a wetter, stormier period ahead for much of the country, with more frequent and intense storms possible in the coming weeks. Understanding this storm is key to anticipating what's next for the country. Meteorologists are watching closely for signs that this pattern will persist, potentially bringing additional rounds of heavy rain, severe weather, and even late-season winter storms to different regions. The stage is set for a very different kind of weather threat in the weeks ahead. As this massive storm takes shape, it serves as a reminder of how quickly our weather can change, and how important it is to stay prepared, stay informed, and stay safe as the nation faces a new chapter in its weather story. To truly understand the storm that's about to unfold, we need to step back and examine the extraordinary weather journey we've been on this season. The story of this storm isn't just about a single event, but about a series of dramatic shifts that have set the stage for what's coming next. Over the past several weeks, the weather across the United States has been nothing short of a roller coaster. We've witnessed wild swings in temperature and precipitation, with conditions changing almost overnight in some regions. December and January delivered relentless Arctic air, plunging much of the eastern U.S. into a deep freeze. Cities that are no strangers to winter were pushed to their limits, with record lows, and heavy, snow-blanketing neighborhoods, stranding vehicles, and closing schools and businesses. The cold was unyielding, and the snow just kept coming. But then, in a matter of days, everything changed. The bitter cold retreated almost as quickly as it arrived, replaced by a dramatic, record-breaking warm-up. In the central U.S., people traded heavy coats for light jackets, and parks that had been deserted in the cold suddenly filled with joggers, and families enjoying the sunshine. It was as if winter had been put on pause. The snow that had piled up for weeks began to melt at a rapid pace. Lawns reappeared, and in some places, early spring flowers poked through the thawing ground. For many it felt more like late March than mid-February, a surreal reminder of how quickly the weather can turn. This abrupt and dramatic shift didn't just surprise residents, it also primed the atmosphere for what meteorologists call a volatile setup. The rapid transition from deep freeze to spring-like warmth created a perfect environment for the next major weather system to develop. With the ground no longer frozen solid and the air now mild and moist, the incoming system is set to bring rain, not snow, to the south. Roads that were once icy are now slick with rainwater and the landscape is quickly transforming. It's a stark contrast to just a few weeks ago, when the same storm track would have meant crippling ice or heavy snow for southern cities. The difference is dramatic, and it highlights just how sensitive our weather can be to even small changes in temperature. Now, the ground is saturated from all that melting snow, and the air is loaded with moisture. Fields are muddy, rivers are running high, and the soil can barely absorb any more water. This sets up a new set of challenges as the next storm approaches. The combination of saturated ground and incoming heavy rain means that flooding is now a real concern. Strong winds and pounding rain could lead to power outages, property damage, and dangerous travel conditions. Communities that just dug out from snow are now bracing for a very different kind of threat. This isn't just about one storm, but about the cumulative effect of rapid, dramatic shifts in our weather pattern. Each event builds on the last, creating a chain reaction that amplifies the risks and challenges for millions of people. The volatility of this season is a powerful reminder of how quickly conditions can change, and how important it is to stay prepared. From blizzards to floods, the weather can turn on a dime, transforming familiar landscapes in a matter of hours. The coming storm is a direct product of this extreme transition, a vivid example of how one season of extremes can set the stage for the next. As we watch the skies and prepare for what's ahead, we're reminded that in a season like this, anything can happen. For drought-stricken areas in the southern plains and deep south, this rain is desperately needed. Months of dry weather have stressed agriculture and lowered reservoirs. This storm could bring the soaking rain needed to start easing drought, but heavy rain on hard, dry ground can't soak in, raising the risk of flash flooding. NOAA has issued flash flood threats for Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, West Tennessee, and northern Mississippi. The slow-moving storm will allow heavy rain to fall over the same areas, saturating the ground. Once the soil is full, any extra rain becomes dangerous runoff. Residents in flood-prone zones must stay alert. Beneficial rain can quickly turn hazardous. The storm's dual nature, drought relief and flood risk, makes it complex to manage. Too much rain, too fast, can threaten lives and property. Understanding this balance is crucial for everyone in the storm's path. Heed local warnings and have a flood plan ready. High above our heads, far beyond what we can see from the ground, a powerful force is at work. The jet stream, a fast-moving river of air that circles the globe, is undergoing a dramatic shift, and this change is about to rewrite the weather story for millions of people across North America. While we often focus on local forecasts, the real action is happening in the upper atmosphere, where the jet stream acts as a steering wheel for storms, temperature swings, and even droughts or floods. For several weeks, a deep trough in the jet stream has dominated the eastern United States. This pattern has been responsible for funneling frigid Arctic air southward, plunging cities from the Midwest to the southeast into a deep freeze. Snow and ice have become common sights, and the cold has lingered, making winter feel relentless for millions. Meanwhile, the western half of the country has enjoyed relatively mild and stable conditions, with temperatures running above average and fewer storms making landfall. But now, a major atmospheric reversal is underway. The jet stream is flipping its script. A deep trough is forecast to stall over the western U.S., while a strong ridge of high pressure builds in the east. This means the weather patterns that have dominated the past month are about to be turned upside down, with dramatic consequences for both coasts and everywhere in between. This reversal will completely change the way storms travel across North America. Instead of cold air pouring south and storms tracking along the east, the new pattern will send energy and moisture surging in from the Pacific, setting the stage for a much more active and unpredictable weather period. With the trough anchored in the west, the region will become a breeding ground for powerful storms. Expect to see heavy rain, gusty winds, and even the potential for flooding along the Pacific coastline. These storms will gather strength as they move inland, tapping into abundant Pacific moisture and unstable air. Instead of the bitter Arctic blasts that have dominated headlines, we'll now see a parade of Pacific-borne systems. These storms will track eastward, bringing waves of rain, mountain snow, and rapidly changing conditions to the western and central U.S. Meanwhile, the high-pressure ridge in the east will act as a barrier, blocking cold air from the north and instead drawing up warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. This will lead to milder, spring-like conditions for much of the east, with sunshine and above-average temperatures becoming the new norm. This setup is a textbook recipe for cross-country storm systems. As Pacific storms move east, they'll collide with the warm, moist air in the central U.S., fueling the development of large, energetic weather systems that can span multiple states and bring a mix of rain, thunderstorms, and even severe weather. Storms will ignite in the west, intensify as they cross the plains, and then sweep rapidly eastward. This means more frequent bouts of heavy rain, strong winds, and the potential for severe weather outbreaks, especially in areas where warm and cold air clash. The jet stream's new configuration is the engine driving all these changes. Its position and strength determine where storms form, how fast they move, and which regions see the most dramatic weather swings. With more moisture in the air and a stronger storm track, we're looking at a recipe for more active, moisture-rich storms. Flooding, rapid temperature changes, and even tornadoes could become more common as the atmosphere becomes supercharged. In short, the nation's weather is about to get a lot more dynamic, unpredictable, and, for many, a lot more interesting. The jet stream's dramatic shift is setting the stage for a season of surprises, so stay tuned and keep an eye on the sky. With the jet stream reversed, major storms will now develop in the Pacific and hit the West Coast first. These systems will bring rain and mountain snow to California, Oregon, and Washington before heading inland. As storms move into the central U.S., they'll intensify, fueled by Gulf moisture and Canadian cold. The result: powerful, organized systems capable of producing a range of weather across the country. A storm that soaks Los Angeles could bring snow to Chicago and thunderstorms to Atlanta within days. This west-to-east track creates a connected, predictable weather story for the entire nation. The new pattern means more snow for the northern U.S. As storms strengthen in the plains, they'll pull down cold air, setting up heavy snow on their northern side. The upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast are now in the path of potential winter storms. Each system's track will determine where rain turns to snow, sometimes with just a small shift. These storms will have plenty of moisture, leading to high snowfall rates and even blizzard conditions. Cities from Minneapolis to Boston should prepare for a snowier end to winter. The jet stream's new position is driving this change. Winter isn't over yet for millions in the north. While the north braces for snow, the south faces a rising threat of severe thunderstorms. The new pattern pumps warm, moist Gulf air northward, creating a volatile setup. Cross-country storms will trigger severe weather as their cold fronts sweep through the south. Dixie Valley, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee is at heightened risk for damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes. This isn't a one-time threat. As long as the pattern holds, each new storm brings renewed risk. Residents must have severe weather plans ready and stay alert. The South is entering a prolonged period of atmospheric instability. The high-pressure dome over the southeast is fueling the severe weather threat. Its clockwise rotation draws warm, humid air from the Gulf deep into the south. This moisture advection loads the atmosphere with fuel for thunderstorms. The high also creates a cap, allowing energy to build until a cold front breaks through. Then storms can explode in intensity. The ridge supplies both moisture and instability, setting the stage for severe outbreaks. Its strength and position will determine how intense storms become. The high-pressure system is the silent partner behind the scenes. Understanding its role is key to forecasting severe weather. This nationwide pattern shift is a reminder. Preparation is our best defense. Weather is a connected system. What happens in the west affects the east days later. Early warnings and preparation save lives, whether facing floods, snow, or severe storms. In the south, know your flood risk and have an evacuation plan. In the north, check winter emergency kits and prepare for outages. In the south, review severe weather safety plans and have multiple ways to get alerts. Preparation on calm days is what keeps us safe when storms hit. Stay informed, heed expert advice, and be proactive as this active weather period unfolds.